You're listening to Country Music Junkies, hosted by Patrice Whiffen. This week on Country Music Junkies, I am pleased to be joined by Jessica Sevier. Jessica, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We're really pumped to talk about you. You're only 18 years old, very new in the industry, but you've accomplished so much so far. Talk to me a little bit about your start in the country music industry as both a singer and songwriter.
Oh, yeah. So it kind of came out just by working with a lot of people. I started 2 years ago. I started performing really hard with another person, a guitarist, and we did a lot of festivals. And then that's kind of where I found success. People were coming up to me saying how much they love my voice, how much they love my original music, and that's kind of where I decided, okay, I think this could be something. Like, I could do something with this. So I had a bunch of contacts, and I reached out to them, and I ended up connecting with Roy Hamilton III. He is a music producer, and he just really liked my songs, and we vibed really well, so we decided to record. And then we did 4 songs, and then here I am now, like, just releasing them, performing, just getting them out.
There you go. Well, let's talk about your style and your sound, because people who have listened to you before say, you're mature beyond your years, you've got this cool rock country vibe, but how would you describe it?
Yeah, I don't think of my music as one thing, basically. I grew up with a lot of rock music in my house, like Guns N' Roses, stuff like that. But I kind of connected more with rock musicians that were more country, like John Mellencamp and Bruce Springsteen. So they kind of have this country vibe, but they're still rock. And I knew, I didn't want to be a rock star. I didn't want to be a rock singer. That's just not who I am. So I kind of found this little pathway that I took, I guess, and I started writing about just what I started seeing and the things that were happening in my life, and it just kind of found this country groove, and I was like, I just went with it, and it just kind of stuck, and people started to like my sound. So I'd say it's kind of rocky, folky,
Yeah, absolutely, which is a very cool sound for sure. Let's talk about your singles. You've got Ghost of Tom available on your website along with Long Drive. Let's start with Ghost of Tom. What's the story behind that tune?
Oh, this one. Okay. So this one was a fun one, actually. I didn't expect to write this song at all.
Okay.
I actually wrote it in a dream.
Oh, no way.
Which was kind of weird. Yeah, it was really cool. So I was just, in my dream sleeping. I started singing this song, and then I woke up and I was like, wow, that's actually something. So I got a piece of paper, I wrote down the lyrics, went back to sleep. In the morning, I came back to it. I looked at it, and I was like, okay, grabbed my guitar, and then I just kind of played the melody that I had in my head when I was sleeping, and I was like, okay, this is something. This is a good song. And yeah, it was actually like a real life story. So I met this guy, and then he ended up moving away, across the country. So that's pretty much what it's about.
Very cool. I like that. All right. Talk to me a little bit about Long Drive and the story behind that one, and maybe how the sound differs from the Ghost of Tom.
Yeah, Long Drive, I was up in Northern Ontario, and I was just sitting by the lake, and there are these forest fires nearby, and the smoke started coming over the water, and I was just sitting there, and I was like, wow. And this imagery just came into my head of, trying to get away from all this craziness, and then, taking this drive, clearing your head, and just finding where you once were and how much happier you once were, and then, just taking that drive, taking that time.
For fans who haven't heard your music before, what sort of stories do you tell, and what makes you unique?
I try and keep the stories realistic and something that you can relate to. So, Ghost of Tom was all about, this lover that ran away, and you're kind of, trying to get them out of your head. And then Long Drive was all about, lusting for something that you didn't have anymore. But, yeah, I write about all sorts of things. With my next song, called Janny, it's about this bad cowboy that just comes and wreaks havoc on your life and just causes all this craziness, and then ends up with a little twist ending, which you'll have to listen to and
there you go.
For yourself. Yes.
What is next for you, Jessica, in terms of 2020? What are you most looking forward to starting off this year?
2020 is going to be a big year for me. Feel it. We're just going to keep playing shows all the time. We're working on getting a band together. I just play with a bunch of musicians now. We have nothing set, so we're going to set up a touring band, and we're going to hit the road and shows everywhere, all across Ontario.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to staying in touch with you and seeing what you're up to. And if fans want to check you out, they can head to jessicasevier.com. There are jumping off points to your Instagram and your Facebook page there as well. Thank you so much for all of your time today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for talking to me. I had a great time.